More developments on the Joe Rogan front, and said it when he made his first statement when he walked back. Oh, I'm a fan of Neil Young, and nope, I'm totally fine with the censorship that Spotify's putting up, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, I'm gonna let them have creative control over my product, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. And people were like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. He didn't apologize at all whatsoever. Well, guess what happens? They found an inch and they're taking a mile right now. Okay, guess what? A comedian said the N-word before. So over the weekend, yeah, a compilation of every time Rogan said, I guess, the hard R, maybe the A. I don't really know, nor do I really care. Because again, it's a word. So, what happened with that? Well, he needed to, I guess, I don't know if anybody told him to, but he felt the need to come out here and have another fucking apology, which ended up with 70 plus. I think there's 113 episodes now, just deleted of the podcast. Never should have apologized. And now everybody's starting to come around to this. It's like, hey, wait a minute. This all started about coof misinformation, and now it's about censoring him? Yeah, because he's popular. And because we can't allow anybody who we don't control fully, somebody who might be sympathetic to a lot of the positions, these are the leftist activist types talking, anybody who's not completely under our thumb, we can't allow them to get that type of platform ever again. And because he's on one of these big tech platforms, we can leverage them in order to silence Joe, okay? But let's just see here, okay? Famed podcaster Joe Rogan has apologized for using the N-word during past podcast episodes after a compilation of him using the word surfaced on the internet amid calls to cancel him from Spotify. And again, this wasn't like him pointing at somebody across the street and yelling it like he's fucking Kramer, okay? This was him in the context of either a joke, in the context of quoting somebody else, or in the context of, I'm not even entirely sure at this point, but it was never in a derogatory sense. And again, it's on a podcast. Who gives a fuck, okay? And if you think it's going to stop with, oh, he said something racist, just wait until his criticism of Fallon Fox comes up again. You just wait, because this is how all of this shit goes. They found a foothold. They found that your weakness was with the coof. Oh, you're spreading misinformation. Well, I'll have people from both sides of the conversation. Well, you take a look at the people who are actually supporting you in this right now, okay? It's your right of center types, okay? It's Jordan Peterson. I've been listening to a bunch of his different podcasts over the weekend while I was doing repairs on my computer and stuff as well. He's been incredibly vocal about his support for Rogan, okay? Dave Rubin as well, for as little as I listen to him anymore, okay? He's released multiple videos and he's been very supportive of him so far on this. Tucker Carlson, Fox News, all of those different outlets. But then you take a look at his lefty friends who are out there. Yeah, they don't care. They really don't care. The Kyle Kalinske types, okay? The David Pakman types, those idiots from The Hill, okay? They only speak up when it's some of their episodes that got taken down. Like, I watched an episode, or at least some of, because it made my brain hurt a lot, of Kyle Kalinski's coverage on this one, just to see if he's like speaking up for Rogan. No, he was speaking up for the fact that, oh, well, Joe said that some of the censorship was good. Okay, not entirely his words, but his sentiment overall. Wasn't really speaking up for Joe. Outside of, well, here's a clip of Jon Stewart saying that, yeah, no, it's good that Spotify is. It's like, why would you? Oh, whatever. They're just incomprehensible people. Jon Stewart maintained relevance because he was waning after he for whatever reason he decided to get off of the Daily Show, which kind of sparked all of this hand-in-hand politicization of culture and the news. So you had Stewart doing something self-serving, you had Kalinske doing something self-serving, and Pakman, you couldn't pay me enough to even click on one of those videos, but their coverage of this is sparse. Most of it's just got nothing to do with any of the censorship, because deep down, they just want to be popular, but they aren't charismatic, okay? They aren't very entertaining. Most of their long-term prognostications have been completely wrong. Just take a look at the debate between Kalinske and Razorfist for proof of concept on that one. Everything that he said was in support. It was a debate, okay? Just not really intending on bringing this up, but we're here. So Kalinske was thinking that coming out of 2016, Hillary Clinton was the better person for the job as opposed to Trump, and most of what Razorfist said during that debate ended up becoming correct. And Kyle Kalinske said that Hillary Clinton would be better for the country because they wouldn't be heading into this never-ending war with North Korea. And this was in 26 at the time. So how did that turn out? You fucking sped. But no, just watching some of his content, like he even had a co-host. I think it was what's her nuts from The Hill. Okay, Crystal Ball. That's her name. Big face. Okay, he was having a conversation with her, and he still has the charismatic dexterity of Christopher Reeve's wheelchair. There's nothing going on between the ears. It's just ideology and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's all fucking useless. And these are the people that Joe Rogan claims to be sympathetic of. And, oh yeah, no, I agree with both sides of the aisle. And that's what happens, okay? You find yourself in a tough spot. Who are the people that got your back? And you look at the people who stay silent. And this isn't a time to be fucking staying silent, at least in my opinion. But yeah, no, here was his fucking brain dead apology, or at least some of it, which everybody's condemning as a bad fucking idea. Rogan explained that while he never used the word to or directed at anybody, then why are you apologizing, you fucking mongoloid? Whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up, and I've clearly fucked up. Ugh. Comedian UFC commentator has been under attack for hosting two guests, Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Robert Malone. These aren't like fake doctors. This isn't like Dr. Jill Biden. These are legitimate people. You know, we've talked about Dr. Peter McCullough, you know, one of the most published, most accepted researchers in the field of cardiology, and Dr. Robert Malone. Last time I checked, the motherfucker who invented the mRNA technology for vaccines. People who should be pretty respected in their field, but they're expressing misinformation. Doctors who are anti-vax. Really, motherfucker? Both of them are fucking jabbed up. Just saying. But again, those are the talking points of those idiots out there on the left. You know, the people who got a big boost in popularity from Rogan, from being on Rogan multiple times. But where are they when it comes to supporting the dude in his time of need? I don't know. I remember, I'm not even a big fan of Rogan anymore. I'm just a fan of most of the people that he has. Not most. Some of the people that he has on his platform, okay? And I think that it's necessary. On his podcast, who have had opinions that's different from the mainstream narrative regarding coof issues, in an attempt to quell the concerns of those calling for his cancellation, Rogan suggested that he host experts with the same opinion as the mainstream narrative right after hosting the controversial guests. That would just be AIDS. Honestly, there's networks full of those people. But again, that still wouldn't satisfy these people because they don't want your apology. They just want your demolition. It's very fucking obvious, okay? A video compilation of Rogan using N-word was shared by Ari, who said that while she emphasizes that people who are saying people who are leaving Spotify for the COVID disinformation reasons, the N-word is why I decided to ask my music to be pulled off of Spotify. Question. What the fuck is Ari? I don't know. Rogan took to social media on Friday to address the N-word video, explaining there's a video out there and there's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made up of clips taken out of context of me 12 years ago in conversations with my podcast, and they're all smushed together and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Yeah, imagine just running whatever it is, couple minutes long video of you just saying the N-word over and over again. It might be funny for the first couple of seconds, but after a while it just gets monotonous and cringe. So I understand. So what's Spotify doing on this one? Well, are they kind of standing up for Joe? Sort of, kind of, okay? Because in the face of the previous backlash from a couple of weeks ago, you know, long forgotten past at this point, what were they doing? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, no, that fringe group of doctors, the 270 quote-unquote doctors who wanted the disinformation logo. Oh, yeah, no, we'll just go ahead and give them that. So what's it going to cost them now? CEO pledges $100 million. Remember, their market valuation dropped to $27 billion. Allegedly. How do you get such quick valuations of your company? I don't understand. It doesn't make much sense to me, but whatever. That's apparently those figures that are out there. But no, Spotify CEO pledges $100 million to marginalized groups after Joe Rogan's N-word video clip goes viral. Okay. Spotify CEO Darren said he will not remove podcaster Joe Rogan from the platform. No, just heavily censor and completely fucking kneecap him, which they said no, he wouldn't do on Spotify. Of course not. No, but something from 12 years ago, yeah, he said bad word. He said ER, we need to throw him off. No, can't be doing that. Despite the recently surfaced video of him using the N-word, among other controversial statements. Like I said, just wait for the tranny fighter videos to come out. Oh my god. If you want a long and short of this, I think by the end of the month, we're going to see some movement off of the platform. Just saying. X said that while he strongly condemns Rogan's incredibly hurtful language, one word is incredibly hurtful. Okay, cool. Oh, we need not tread down this because it's just the pandering at best. And, you know, Darren Eck, who looks like a more AIDSy version of Jeff Bezos, he knows. He knows what it means to be hurt by the hard R. He does not want to take a ride down the slippery slope of canceling voices. Right. So you're just adding disclaimers. You're just doling out $100 million to quote unquote minority groups or whatever the fuck you're going to say here. I want to make one point very clear. I do not believe that silencing Joe is the answer. Really? We should have clear lines around content and take action when they are crossed, but canceling voices is a slippery slope. Then why'd you get rid of so many videos on the why did you do that? Over the weekend, Rogan found himself in hot water after a video compilation surfaced of him using the N-word. Without context, yeah, like it really matters. He said the word, we need to get rid of him. It's funny, right? He said the word, dozens of podcasts go away. It's totally not censorship. I'm not canceling any voices out there. Then why did you get rid of all the Alex Jones videos? I don't think he said the N-word in those at all whatsoever. And considering all but one of the videos were before, they got removed, were from before the coof. But no. It's not about censoring voices. It's not about silencing people's point of view, now is it? But at one point, Rogan referred to a black neighborhood as Planet of the Apes. I'm sure it was a joke, and I'm sure it was funny. Rogan immediately took to social media and apologized for his language. Don't really care, because your apologies are cringy and they never fucking work. Because the people who quote unquote want the apologies and the people who you are apologizing to don't care about you, and they weren't listening to you. They weren't offended by the words that you said. They were just offended on behalf of somebody else. Because these are just a bunch of blue checkmark types that are just mad at your success, okay? By a guy who never intended to have the platform that you do, okay? And these are the people that slaved away at these journalism schools who think that they should be just as popular as you, but then don't realize that you're actually funny and engaging when you talk. And they have the charisma about it. Pizza box. There's nothing going on there. Yeah, let's get to the dirt here. Spotify removes dozens of Joe Rogan Experience episodes report. Why exactly? I don't know if there's actually been like a statement as to why they're gone. Swedish streaming platform Spotify has pulled down more than 100 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience from its services since February 4th, according to reports. The tech giant's removal of the episodes comes amid controversy that Rogan is facing in connection with the opinions presented by his guests on the coof, with several musicians as well as White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Yeah, that was the video that that was released yesterday, and that was with the most up-to-date information. And boy, has shit changed in the past, well, the 72 hours. As well as, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki accusing the top-rated podcast host of spreading misinformation on his popular show. However, the shows that were removed aren't directly connected with the controversy because his episodes were from years ago. Then why? Rogan has operated his podcast for more than a decade. The removal was spotted by the web tool jremissing.com, which tracks the episodes. It says, as of February 5th, 113. But as we have here, yes, still 113. And from the people that are on there, yep, you guys can see that. Just needed to check. You got Chris D'Elia, Alex Jones returns, weird. Gad Sad, okay. Mike Ward and Pantelis, comedians, Michael Malice, Kyle Kolensky. Yeah, that was the video that he made because, I'm finally affected. Theo Vaughn, comedian, Tom Segura, I guess he is. Owen Benjamin, Kurt Metzger, okay. Ari Shafir, Bert Kreischer, and Tom Segura. Is that like one of those Sober October videos? I'm sure. Owen Benjamin, all that makes sense. Sargon, yeah, that one never made the jump over to Spotify to begin with. Oh, all of the new ones that are here. So, yeah, Michael Malice, Theo Vaughn, Pete Holmes, Big J. Okerson, TJ Kirk, Aubrey Marcus, Brian Redband, Tom Segura and his wife, Russell Peters, Ryan Parsons. Oh, Rich Voss, man. Listen. Got to be just tore up by that. Or Christ, we could just continue to run this down, but just lo and behold, 113 episodes. He's in like the 1700s now, if I did remember correctly, but these are from 500 range. Okay, so it's been a minute. Michael Malice, a Ukrainian-American author and media personality, sent on Twitter his 2 episodes previously featured were pulled down. He still has multiple other appearances that are out there, and long and short of it is, again, remember how this all started with COVID misinformation? And now we have years and years of old videos in the only place that they're available, just gone, just rewriting history. Why? He might have said the N-word. Might have said it. We can't have that. Meanwhile, you can just fire up top of the rap charts if you just want that. It's funny, right? Well, there have been no confirmation on the specific reasons Spotify quietly removed the episodes. Rogan recently posted an almost 5-minute video on his personal Instagram account where he mentioned a compilation video made by critics that feature him using racial slurs. So yeah, obviously it's only going to get worse from here. You think they're just going to stop? They're like, okay, good. Well, he was spreading misinformation, and now we got the little disclaimer at the beginning of those controversial episodes, so we're happy with that. So we won't be pushing on that any further. We won't be making content decisions on who you have and who you're not allowed to have. Like if you ever anticipate ever seeing Dr. Robert Malone on there ever again, you're out of your fucking skull. Or so just expect more Dr. Peter Hotez, who, you know, the guy who's like calling for people to just get put in fucking cages out on the lake. You know, that guy. You didn't see his videos getting tagged with anything, so no, he'll be over there. That's fine. Okay. And then, he said the naughty word, you know, the one that gets you just deleted off the internet, the most detrimental word in the English language. He said it, and all of those episodes he said it as well. But you can't go back and double check any of those. Don't worry about it; they're gone anyway. So they're just gonna stop there. Of course, they're not gonna fucking stop there. Okay, and if you think that it's just going to be any more comedians, because those are the ones that were gotten rid of, okay? Your controversial types, okay? Your Dr. Godsod, okay? Canadian, let me get this right. A Jew who fled a civil war in the Middle East, okay? Set up shop, and he's a university professor in Montreal who discusses the same type of concepts and policies as Dr. Peterson, okay? And they're both kind of in that same circle of people, so his videos get taken down as well, and a bunch of comedians that are on there, but the likes of like Miley Cyrus and a bunch of different vacuous celebrities, Demi Lovato, they can be on there. So what's going to happen with the Rogan podcast in the future? Boring shit that you just get from mainstream sources, and it'll tank his viewership because everybody's just going to be either waiting for him to say something controversial or for him to fade off into obscurity because he's just proven that there's no backbone there. Unless, of course, the next controversy pops up, and I've already, put my flag in the ground of what I think it's going to be. Okay, unless he ends up getting yeeted from Spotify, thinking that because these idiots who call for his cancellation never think more than one step ahead. They think, aha, we got him taken off of Spotify, and he's already moved off of YouTube. He's already burnt that bridge there. So where could he go? Well, there's also like a parallel economy sort of thing forming. We've seen it with the truckers protest, okay? GoFundMe kicked off the crowdfunding effort, and then Give, Send, Go was like, hey, we got a similar platform over here, and already within a couple of days, they've got half of the initial funds already just brought there. So once the rest of the refunds come through from Give, Send, or GoFundMe, sorry, they're both very similar. Don't you think that Give, Send, Go is just going to bloom off the back of this because they have the biggest active crowdfunding effort going on right the fuck now? That's going to raise their profile out there, and they're going to grow off of the back of that. And perhaps this is what Rumble's trying to do. And I would actually believe them because they aren't a part of the big tech hive mind, okay? And there's been a couple of people just show up and give relevance and legitimacy to the platform. Like you just go on the main page of Rumble. Fuck, we'll do it right now. We'll do it live. Fuck it. like, you got Alan Dershowitz, you know, a noted right-wing conservative, right? Okay, you got Ruben, obviously. Matt Kors, I'm not entirely sure of. Russell Brand, you know, somebody who's been on the Rogan podcast multiple times. And the thing is, he's actually been incredibly based lately. It's really weird. He's fucking terrific, and he's normally on the front page, at least whenever I show up. But then you also have on the news side, you have New York Post, Project Veritas, Reuters, and then you got cute little dog videos, because there needs to be a differentiation of content. And then you have Dan Bongino, who was kicked off of YouTube, and they're all just talking about the same stuff, and stupid Steven Crowder, who really just adds absolutely nothing to any platform he's on. But this is the smartest move that any of the alt platforms could really do, if we're being completely honest, because it really looks like the most popular show by like a wide fucking margin could be on the free market very, very shortly, and it would be the dumbest fucking move. Like, I thought GoFundMe would probably try something slimy like this, okay? And I figured it would be just a terrible decision for them to kick off the Freedom Convoy. I couldn't imagine. I would give it probably a 40% chance by the end of the month that they kick off Rogan. Mostly because these cancellation types, they start to see the blood that's in the water, and they aren't going to stop until they have mission accomplished on this one. So if that does in fact manifest that way, I think Rumble's got this one, okay? Like, there's also been different ideas out there. Because, like I said, I've been listening to some Jordan Peterson podcasts about how this stuff is really just kind of carried along here recently. Like, obviously, I've talked about Peterson on the Rogan show from a couple of weeks ago at this point. Yeah, something like that. And then he was on Patrick Bet-David's podcast, which was pretty good after about the first hour when he was talking about, Jordan, you should really run for Prime Minister of Canada. It's not that easy, PBD, okay? But again, there was a lot of good points that were brought up there in this video. It's already long enough in the tooth. Anyways, one thing he did mention was the dumbest thing that Spotify could do is kick off Rogan, because if he gets kicked off of Spotify, the first thing that would happen is Elon Musk would call him up, and he's been talking, okay? He's been making some noise as well of him setting up some sort of social media platform, some sort of video hosting platform, okay? And if he's not going to be doing it, well, Rumble, they just went public not that long ago, and Rumble's been kind of a mover and shaker. They're the ones that are growing exponentially, and they look like they could be the successor, or at least the challenger to some sort of the market share that that YouTube has out there. So this is a smart move by them. Rumble CEO offers Joe Rogan $100 million. This is totally fucking legit, and they wouldn't cancel Joe Rogan, okay? This isn't like one of those tenuous graphs that were out there. It's like, wow, that's a lot of money from a platform. You should probably just take the money over at Spotify. And you know what? They're kind of off there on their island. They want to launch their video podcast wing, and hey, who better than Rogan? He was just out there, right? Well, he's going to be persona non grata if he gets kicked off of Spotify. So how are you going to legitimize your platform? Because the people who were reportedly offended by the N-word clip that was out there, they all already know that, yeah, comedians say things, and people should be allowed to say things, okay? It wasn't meant in any sort of a derogatory way, and I don't know many people in today's day and age who would actually use racial slurs and the means to actually offend anymore. Like, that's just such an antiquated notion, but apparently white supremacy around every fucking corner. Sure. Again, the people that tune in to Joe Rogan's podcast and the people that would be affiliated with Rogan don't care what big tech would do. So this is the smartest thing that they can do. Hey, listen, if Spotify decides that they're going to do something incredibly dumb for their bottom line, we're going to give you the same amount of money. Just come over here, and literally it's just going to be hands off. Just help us grow. We'll help you grow. We'll get your message out there, because somebody's got to fucking do it. Video sharing platform Rumble on Monday offered podcast host Joe Rogan $100 million to bring his discussions to an uncensored forum in the midst of pressure to remove him from Spotify. We stand with you, your guests, and your legion of fans in desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 million reasons to make the world a better place. CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovski, in a letter uploaded by the company, how about you bring all of your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship, for $100 million over 4. Damn it, that's actually a better deal, because what was reported was $100 million over 10 years. So they're just like, here's $25 million in 4 years, and we'll see what the growth is going to be like after that, and then we'll talk. This is our chance to save the world, and yes, this is totally fucking legit. obviously there's a problem with exclusivity, but if Spotify is breaking some of their terms by getting rid of some of your podcasts that are out there, as long as this isn't directed by Joe and then it just ends up just being a mask off moment where it's like, listen, okay, I know The Rock came out and condemned me as being a racist, and I just really, really want the adulation of big tech and the celebrities that are out there because I want to make another attempt at acting. I don't think that that's the case. But if this was all his design to get rid of those old podcasts, I think that there's probably something in there that Spotify is breaking their terms of service by getting rid, or their contract that they'd have with you by getting rid of some of those old podcasts. Just a thought, just a theory. So is there an opportunity to do something different? And he's also shouted out Rumble before. Rogan has. Specifically which podcast that was eludes me. It might be in there as well, but he knows about it as well. And again, this is the growing alternative that's out there, okay? Because really, in the future, probably by the end of this decade, we're really going to start to see a return to the old form of media where there's a left-wing and a right-wing type of media. Is that good? In the long term, I don't really know, but it worked before, and it's already happening. Actually, not really. It's more or less just the big pipeline of left-wing ideas and then just this little trickle of right. So we're starting to see a little bit of a widening over there. And you know what? Hey, there's nothing we can do about institutionalized lies out there on the left. That pipeline can just continue to dry up of just fraudulent ideas. They want to go ahead and kill everything off. They want to continue to run down the poison of just lies and information. You guys do you. We're just going to be over here trying to build something great, and this could really just be the springboard that it needs, because how often do you have this opportunity just right out there? And obviously, yeah, they have the money, and $100 million over 4 years seems like a lot of fucking dough. But again, this is the biggest show on the fucking internet, okay? There's nobody else you could sign to with this type of deal that would generate you 10 times as much money. I'm just saying, this is a fucking deal. In December of 2021, CF Acquisitions Corp, yeah, that's the company that let them go prime time, baby, entered a business combination with Rumble valuated at $2.1 billion. And then again, yeah, Rumble buying locals. And also last year, Rumble, which says it operates a video platform that is immune to cancel culture, seems like it, entered into a partnership with former President Donald Trump's media group, Truth Social. So there's something being built there. And Trump, get on it, dude. Rogan, whose podcast averages about 11 million listeners per episode. It's that's what's reported. I just can't verify that or check it. Entered into a deal with Spotify, reportedly worth more than $100 million to exclusively host this show. But in recent days, Spotify has faced calls to cancel Rogan for a litany of reasons. But yeah, and then that just circles back around to Spotify CEO Eck saying that canceling Rogan would be a slippery slope. But again, you're getting rid of old episodes, okay? And you're going to be censoring future stuff. And you're going to have a hand in booking his future guests. So just because that's not necessarily taking something down doesn't mean that you aren't guiding conversations going forward, which is a big departure from the reason why you brought Rogan on in the first place, because he was doing unstructured conversation. Okay, a service that was being underserved by the media. And it was something that was wildly successful, all on the backs of boomers who just thought that misinformation was far more important. So ultimately, all of this stuff is in Spotify's court, okay? Now, if they want to ride this out with Joe and he wants to bitch up about it because he's just going to apologize into eternity, that's on him. Then we don't need to talk about Joe anymore in the future. But if the controversies, like I predict, end up popping up in the future, well, let's see if Rumble can put their money where their mouth is, because this seems like the smartest form of attack going forward. But we'll see. We'll see. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.